Okay folks, so what I have here is a DSi completely taken apart because this one, the one that's in pieces in front of me, the top screen didn't work. The bottom screen flashed, the blue light came on, and then it immediately went off, which is a sign of either the camera module or the top screen not working, because the ribbon cable, so this is the camera ribbon cable, the ribbon cable for the camera or the ribbon cable for the screen, which it actually turned out to the screen, so I'll show you here. If those are damaged and don't work, therefore not allowing the screen to turn on or the camera to work, so you can see, let me zoom this in actually, easier to see this way. If they are damaged and don't turn on, then the console itself will not boot. You can see there's a small tear there in how this is supposed to sit in the hinge. To be honest, I'm no engineer, but personally I think it's not a very good way of storing a ribbon cable, just due to the longevity of constantly moving and twisting that. But anyway, here we are. So what I've got is the original one here, and then I've also got a spare one. It says won't power on, cable's knackered. So in this, someone has decided to, well, somehow remove the power cable from the, so I'll show you here. These wires here have been soldered on by somebody else, and right there, kind of where my nail is, there should be a receiver, and then the two wires, there's like a spade head, just gets pressed in. For some reason that's been completely removed. Whatever, it is what it is. So what I'm going to do is take the top screen from this one, providing that does actually work and is in good condition, and put it in this one. Now I've got a bottom screen that works, but the original one, but if we look at it, it's really heavily scratched. But just for peace of mind to get it working in general, I'm going to only replace the top screen for now, and then once that's replaced I can then look at replacing the bottom screen, providing the bottom screen on this one works. I don't know where that's come from. Let's see what we've got. So all I really need is the top screen, so I can just start by disassembling this board just to get access to this top screen. So now I've got that disconnected. What I need to do is remove the hinge or the two pieces from each other. So what I'm just going to do is take, I think this is the Wi-Fi module, take that out for now, set it aside. That's one less cable in the way. I need to get rid of this, this on this side, which is the LED indicators. Now, whether that's just stuck in place due to dirt and whatever time, I'm just going to try and press these through. There we go. Because for some reason, they didn't want to come out initially, but I need these out because I need to get access to use some, like a screwdriver, and just force through the pin. So you go through and just push the pin, and it'll push it in, push it along, and that way when you kind of go to close it, if it would let me, there we go, you can then pull the pin a bit further out. It might actually be far enough through that I could just, no, not yet, try and push it through a little bit more with the screwdriver. There we go. And now that hinge just comes away, and you can start to pull this one through. So what we need to do, this is very, very delicate part. This ribbon cable is obviously the reason why I'm doing this. So actually what I'm going to do is flip it over and remove this cable, which is the, I think, for the camera. Let's see where this goes. It appears so. So I'm just going to start to thread this through. And that's, is that the camera? I think it isn't. No, it's a microphone. So take that through. Could do with these staying in place. They love to come out, these speakers. There's nothing holding them in. There's nothing to tell them not to. But anyway, this is where it gets really difficult, a bit tricky. People say roll them up, but personally, they don't roll up to fit through this hole. So I need this metal part of the hinge to slide out, so that gives us access to this slit that's cut here in the plastic. Now I'm trying to do them both at the same time, since they're both in there at the same time. What you just got to be is very patient with this, because this is what we need. There we go. Come on. There we go. Right. Very dirty in that hinge, actually. Disgusting! What I could actually do is, I don't need this top screen. I just need this whole assembly. Therefore, I haven't got to fiddle around with doing much else, like getting it through. One thing I'm going to do is just get a scalpel here and just, obviously very carefully. This is just me being picky, but there's a ton of dirt there, and I hate seeing it. If this wasn't as much of a pain in the arse to put back together, I'd completely disassemble this and clean it in soapy water, because it's filthy. So now what I need to do, that's our top unit. These bloody speakers, honestly. Stay in. And stay in. So, why do they keep popping back up? What I'm going to have to do now is thread through. I may as well put the original microphone back in with this one. Thread the microphone back through. I probably didn't need to remove it in all honesty, but it just meant there was one less thing in the way. So, just going to try and get this through now. Pretty sure that goes to this top corner, if I remember correctly, yeah. And then it just roots down here somehow, but mainly through here again. It's pretty straightforward. So again, up through the slit there, that's where I'm going to feed these two cables. Obviously not going to be easy, because nothing ever is. So what I might do is just kind of pause it there on the video, and then once it's through, I will return. Yeah. Okay, so it didn't actually take that long to do, surprisingly. But either way, it was a bit of a pain in the backside to get through. But once it's done, we can go ahead and just start to fill the rest in. So I've got it through. I'll show you here through the other side. So what we need to do now is get this hinge on the left side, get that pushed back over. That way it secures the two hinges together, or the two parts together. So it should just be as simple as kind of lining it up and then pushing it on through. So what I might do is just apply some pressure downward on it and then just try and move it back and forward to try and line up the hole. There we go. So now this hinge should just function as it did prior. Yeah. Okay. So now we've got that through, what we need to start doing is putting the buttons back in. In fact, you know what? I'm going to put the top back on this. Okay, so what I've actually just gone and spent a bit of time doing is routing this cable and wedging it right along the edge here. Might be hard to see, but basically that you need to get it out the way. You need it to sit flush down. You've got about four, well, when you get to this half, beyond where the microphone goes, you've got about 4 cables to try and wedge in. You've got 2 for the speaker, and then the white one, and then the pink one for the microphone. So as long as they're kind of situated away, this should now sit on top, flush, and slide on. He says with so much confidence that it would actually slot on. There we go. Okay, right. That's in place. So what I'm going to do is need the 4 screws for the top screen, which I believe, where did I keep these? I think these are in this part here. Is that 4? Yeah. So I'm going to put these 4 screws in. Now the problem is, again, we don't have the covers for these to put back in. It's closed quite nicely. But what we need to start doing now is putting the buttons back in. So I'm going to take them from the original console and try and remember where these go. I think these should have form factors, which means you can't put them in the wrong place. So that's in the wrong place, that's in the wrong place, that isn't. I need to remember to put in the kind of light channel indicator thingies. So that should just drop in there, and it does. And then there should be an LED kind of assembly that goes in. That's obviously waiting for when the main board goes back in, which is actually this side one. So now I've got a board I can kind of freely a bit more manhandle and don't have to worry about the other screen being attached to it. There we go. Latch down. So now as we flip it back over, just going to make sure that we've got 3 ribbon cables that need to kind of come through. We've got one at the top here, and then we've got 2 at the side. Now one's already through, but the small one is not. Let's just try and set this in place. There we go. Kind of just need to wiggle this around until it falls into the posts. Again, this one at the top sat under. There we go. Right. Okay. So we've got the bottom ribbon cable connector done there. I'm going to do this top one. There we go. That seems to be in a little bit wonky, so I'm just going to redo this. There we go. Okay, top left ribbon cable. Now we'll do the side ones. That's pretty easy. And finally this top one. Very awkward to get this one in because we don't have a lot of room. Come on, get in. There we go. So he's not too bad at the moment. We need the side panel putting back in, and there is some weird liquid on there, but it doesn't seem to be impacting anything. So all we've got to do is do this from the underside. So if it's going to land in this way, it's probably wise to do it like this, maybe. Actually no, because it needs to go in this way. It's obviously for the LED indicators. Let me try it this way, and if not I'll have to flip it over. Okay, that's not gone into too difficult. Problem is I can't see where the latch, there we go. It's come out. Let's try this way then. So I could do with, in fact, you know what, I'll take that module out because that can come out for now, connect it and then just drop it in, I think. So I need to think about how this would work. So it's in It's in that way, and that sits down. That needs to go in. Like so. Okay, then I can just simply drop that back in. Nice. Just drop that through there. Bit of persuasion, come on. There we go. And then obviously I need to just, I'll do the, in fact I may do the power connector while I'm there. I need the 5 screws for this, so let me try and source them wherever I've put them. Okay, so I don't actually know where those screws have gone, which is utterly bizarre because that's 10 that I'm technically missing. 5 from the previous board, and then, well, 1, 2, 3 missing from here. I've tried a couple of these, but these are all too big, so I think I've put screws that are too big in the screen. That doesn't really make sense. Anyway, I don't think it matters a great deal because there's 2 in, that holds it in place pretty firmly, so I may as well just continue with the rest of the components. So this is the white one, which goes onto this, possibly, although it's got quite a length. I don't think it needed that much, but we'll see. Connect that up, and this simply, I suppose it did sit around the other side like this. No, it didn't. What am I talking about? It was, it did go along there and then sat like that. I should just click back into place, yep. And then this went, I think, around here. Possibly. Let's see if we get a bit more slack. Ooh. Not sure, but it can go there for now. Definitely have a lot of slack there, which is odd. And then this pink one just drops on here. If it would be so kind. There we go. There we go. Right, let's just make sure wires are kind of sat nicely. Don't think we'll get that cable to stay as it was. Okay. Took a while. Let's whack a battery in, and this is just moment of truth, really. I haven't got very high hopes for this working, in all honesty. But here we go. Blue light. There we go. Oh. Alright, it's not got the picture on the screen anymore, so I can lay it down and show you. Yeah, brightness quite low. Let's do. Touchscreen seems to work. I don't have a stylus. But that all works, okay. But anyway, like I said, I'm just going to put this back together. It works. The only thing I don't have for this is a stylus and a charger, because they wanted to change the charger to the proprietary one and change it again from the Nintendo DS Lite. Why? Don't know. Annoying either way. But this seems to be the first one that I managed to fix from this 13 console bundle. Just put that back on properly. So like I said, the issue was the ribbon cable and I think I missed a few screws, but never mind. The ribbon cable for the screen was torn. It had a tear in it, which meant the screen didn't function as it should have done, which then stopped, or rather prevented the system from booting up, as it didn't detect a working screen. Kind of pain in the arse to replace, because that's the kind of last thing. There's 2 more screws there, I think they're in the battery compartment, that's fine. It obviously needs a bit of a clean. All the buttons seem to work perfectly fine. I only have one Nintendo DS game, which is Junior Classic Games. It's just kind of got a load of games on it. Let's just give it a blast. Bottom screen's a bit yellow. It reads it though. Yep, so it reads the game and it's booting up. That's fine for me. The cartridge works. Doesn't come with an SD card in this one, unfortunately, but never mind. So yeah, my first one I've managed to fix from the 13 console bundle. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.